dear God, Gal Gadot was awful. She's the weakest part of this movie. She had 2 songs, and what the hell was that? Her line delivery was weak. It was a plateau throughout. There was zero emotion. She was atrocious. I don't know if there was anyone else that was offered this role, or if they're like, you know what, go, take, you can have this.
Welcome to the Untitled Film Project Podcast. It's Snow White, yet another live-action remake of a classic Disney story in which a princess must save her kingdom from her evil stepmother, Queen.
You'll be safe from the Queen here.
The Queen stole everything from all of us. I'm gonna need your help. It's time to restore our kingdom.
We're going to talk about that, and we'll also answer the big question.
The big question is, what would you like to go back? What movie would you like to go back in time and purchase a popcorn bucket for? And what would it look like?
Snow White, this movie has been in production for quite some time. A lot of controversy around it. I want to find out from you guys, did you follow the controversies, many of them, about this film and the complaints about it before it was made and before you saw it?
I can start because the answer is a resounding no. Okay, so
That tracks.
Bradford, we talk about this all the time. He has tabs on everything. I try to blinders, right? But even with this one, it took my really good friend, Big Dave. He had to text me and say, "I saw you saw Snow White. What'd you think?" And I told him, and he goes, "Okay," because I was concerned that all the LGBTQ stuff, the controversy around it. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I had no idea. And
I didn't even hear that one.
No, but
there was so many.
But I appreciated it actually because I went in without baggage.
Right.
I wasn't looking for anything, so I feel like my opinion on that subject, as Bradford will tell you, not all subjects, but on that subject, I feel like it's as pure as it can be because I didn't know that was a thing.
That's fair.
Bradford, did you see the headlines and the angry comments long before this came out?
It's me. I am a doom scroller as there is.
But you also like to keep up to date on these things.
Well, yeah, I am very much up to date. I have so many push notifications for certain things, especially like the AP, things like that. I know things that are
Rachel
going on.
Zegler is also a push notification.
No,
Yes, she is. She's in human form. Yes.
But in terms of pop culture and things that are going on, this is relevant more than just the movies because it became a pop culture thing and also politics got involved with it too. So this became a talking point for more than just the entertainment industry as well. So I'm very, very much aware of everything going in. But I will say this, as Gover has tried to say this before about movies, I went in just to go in to watch the movie. Yeah. And I believe did my best to not let any of that affect me because I don't think it did. Most of the stuff, the controversy made me roll my eyes anyways of like, they're making this a thing. They're making this a thing. The thing should be on, did this movie need to exist? That should be more the topic at hand than anything else.
Like the live action remake. Yeah. That to me, that was like, as a movie lover, that was the big question. The rest of the stuff, as soon as I heard people going blah 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 blah, it should never, they shouldn't blah blah blah. I just put my
about the original, blah,
my
blah,
fingers in the ears. So I had an inkling, but I think I went to this movie pretty fresh. So all right, knowing what our attitudes were going into the theater, let's get some initial takes on Snow White. Bradford?
Okay. Let me preface this with, overall, I was good with it comparatively. Like, it wasn't
comparative to what?
Other live actions of Disney.
There. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Compared to that, let me backtrack a little bit. The original Snow White animated, right, was just, it changed everything in entertainment with animation. It just broke so many barriers, but it wasn't the best story. And
there's not much to it.
There's not much to it. And yes, there's this damsel in distress, but you get the classic fairy tale, the stereotype, right? That's what Rachel Zegler was talking about as well, too. This movie had more depth to it because it needed it. If you made made the original Snow White and made it live action like this, it would have been even worse. And that's saying a lot for some people, right? Because they went in hating it before they even watched it. But it would have been so much worse.
Oh, my God.
Now, let me get to my take on this one. Rachel Zegler carried the film. If there was any bright spot, it was her performance and her singing. Suffered from poor writing. The dwarves, there was some uncanny valley going on. Dopey grew on me because he looked more human than anything else.
Yes.
And they gave him true emotion and connection, right? There was a connection you felt with Dopey for that reason.
He had a story arc.
He had a story
even
arc.
if it was kind of tiny, but then
still,
became mightier.
And then for me, Gover, did you have something?
No.
Okay.
It can wait.
Okay. But, dear God, Gal Gadot was awful. She's the weakest part of this movie. She had 2 songs, and what the hell was that? Her line delivery was weak. It was a plateau throughout. There was zero emotion. She was atrocious. I don't know if there was anyone else that was offered this role, or if they're like, you know what, you can have this, because I could probably list at least 5 others that would have been great in this role as Evil Queen. Well, Idina Menzel would have been great off the bat.
That would have been awesome.
I mean, here's the thing. Who knows if they wanted it? It's what we talk about in sports all the time. Like, why did they trade for this? Or why did that person
Why
sign
did the
here?
Titans get rid of Derrick Henry? He didn't want to be here anymore.
So it all depends on who wanted the role.
Yes.
But here's the thing. It felt like she was a caricature of the evil queen, and a poor one. She was the one, and when you're on the side of the street 2 blocks away from Times Square, and they say they're going to draw you.
Yeah.
Not in Times Square at the premium spots, but 2 blocks away. Okay, she was off Broadway, evil queen.
Off brand.
Off
So,
Broadway.
yeah, it was really bad. And I say that all because every time I was into the movie and Rachel Zegler had me in, and I'm feeling a little bit of emotion and connection to characters, Gal Gadot popped up on the screen, and I'm like, come on. Like, it was bad. She was really, 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 really bad in this role. And people want to bag on Rachel Zegler because of what she said outside of the film. But if there's anything that ruined the movie, it's the evil queen in this. Because the evil queen deserved more in this, to be sassy and more evil and wicked and everything too, to make you want to hate her. She did nothing in this to make you want to hate her. And you should.
Well,
I'm going to jump in there with my initial take, because I also have an opinion about Gal Gadot playing, the evil stepmother. The range of emotions I've had about Gal Gadot, when she became a household name with Wonder Woman, she was fantastic.
yes.
But I have to say, honestly, since then, I haven't really seen her in anything else that has made her an impressive actress to me.
Kal-El, no!
Not a single. What? No. It's just. So I'm going to say that she was miscast. Okay, I didn't think she was horrible, but I think I could not feel any malevolence from her at all. Yeah, it was kind of a straight line. Don't give her a song. Did we not learn anything from Imagine during COVID? That was not, hey, I'm not a singer either. So I'm just gonna, I imagine somebody else singing it better. I'm gonna say she's miscast. Like, why did you cast her? I mean, she's wonderful in this narrow range, right? Rachel Zegler, I'm going to give you exactly the same thing you said, which was, I wouldn't say she was great. When she sings, she's great. When she's just an actress, I think she's okay. She doesn't have the it factor to me. She doesn't rise above a lot for me, but she can sure as heck sing. This movie is, I don't know how long it was, but I'm just going to guess. It's 4 hours. I'll never get back. And now I'll get an initial take from Jeremy Gover. What do you think?
Okay. Wow, 4 hours. Wow. I'll just say that I hated that it was a musical. Hear me out. My wife and I got into it on the way home.
You in America?
Well, no, but I'm not. I didn't hate it because it was a musical.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's part of it. Okay. What I mean, though, is like I understand that hi-ho. That I get that. That's a classic part of the original movie. There's a
Whistle
way
while you work.
There's a way to do that without it's what the dwarves do. Like it's a way to do that without making the entire movie a musical. Okay, The whistle while you work thing, she could be sweeping or doing whatever she's like, teaching them how to do whatever, and just and it kind of becomes a thing. The opening song, like right when it's a beautiful song in a vacuum, but when I was just like, oh, here we go, because I hadn't seen the original since, probably for 4 decades. Like, I'm 47. Sure. I was probably a young kid when I saw the original last. Okay.
Same.
So I knew there was music in it, or as for all Disney movies, but I thought, live action, they won't make, it's not music dependent like The Little Mermaid is, or, some other ones that they've done. So for me, I did not see it coming, and maybe that's on me, but I was just like, you didn't need this, you didn't need that, you certainly didn't need the Evil Queen songs. Like, there's all kinds of stuff in there that you're like, if you just told it like a story and kept the whistle while you work in there and the hi-ho in there,
much better movie.
Yes, you're fine. You don't need all that other garbage. Now, that being said, that's probably why Rachel Zegler got the movie, because she's got pipes and can sing and is amazing at it. But it's like, it was completely unnecessary. That is my initial take on Snow White.
All right, let's go deeper into this thing, because I am locked and loaded, and I did not go in with an agenda on this movie.
Okay, I'm posing a question here.
Okay.
What did you think about the direction they took it to, where she is going to take back her kingdom after learning what happened to her father and what the evil queen did? Did we like that overall take? Yeah. Did it make it to where at least there was a means to an end with the story? And I think that's what was needed, right?
Yeah, it didn't have that before. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad it was there, because without it, there is no narrative.
Right.
There's no conflict. It's just, your simple plot structure is missing. There's a big piece missing.
Right. The original Snow White didn't have that.
Right.
The original Snow White, you don't see the parents. You don't, after the evil witch gives her the apple, she just disappears just into thin air.
And that's why you read it to a little kid when they're going to sleep.
Right. So for me, I really appreciated the fact that we got to see that.
Now, on the flip side, too, you mentioned little kid, right? Movies like this are targeted towards families, not just kids, but families, because parents have to take, friends have to take, relatives, mentors, whoever is taking children to see this. So it's not meant for just children. So if you comment, the movie's made for children. No, it's not. It's made for a general audience, not just children.
I think it is made for children.
No.
Well,
but you're not going to make all the money if you don't have at least adults interested in it.
I agree, but you do that with nostalgia.
Okay, but I don't think you're actually disagreeing with me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't feel that way.
Okay.
Because, like, any of the live actions, right, in terms of who they've cast a lot of the times, too, you're trying to make general audience money. You're not going to make your budget back if you're not targeting general audiences. The earlier animations were actually more targeted towards younger children, I think, more than just a general audience, because the way it's written, things like that, that's why we have nostalgia attachment to it. Live action, because the action involved here could still be a little much sometimes for a 4 or 5 year old. So I think it's meant for a general audience as well, too, because they need to make their money back. But I say this, while we are adult men discussing Snow White, is there a segment of people that you think are going to truly enjoy this film like children, if this is their first introduction to it, or if they're still maybe, say, 7, 8 years old, that they see this film and they do grow an attachment to it? Is there a segment that you think is still going to end up overall enjoying this movie?
I think it's kids.
I'll cap it at 7 years old and younger, and I don't think it's going to be anything that makes a big impression on them. It's just another one of 100 movies that they've seen, and they will not yearn for it later when they're older and be nostalgic about it.
I'll go a little older. I'll say 12 or 11 or younger.
Okay.
I think that's right around the cusp of like exploring what you like and all that. So I think that's probably fair. But I know that I thought it was average at best. We'll get to all that. My wife loved it, but she's also a Disney stan and loves all that stuff.
And so am I.
I know, but I'm just saying. And then my son, who's 12, really enjoyed it too. It's not one of his favorite movies, but I mean, he was like, I enjoyed my time in the theater, and that's fine.
I think there were plenty of enjoyable moments, but then there were plenty of things that just took me direct out. Like what I said earlier, right? It just wasn't clear. It didn't have everything it needed in it to make it a really good movie, which I think we all knew that. I don't think it deserves some of the review bombing that it's had on IMDb. Like, it's not a 1.3.
No.
Like, it's not. There are way worse films out there, people, than this one.
Please.
This is not the epitome of cinema by any means, but it's not a 1.3 on IMDb. And it's interesting to see the critics and the audience scores, because this is one of those ones where complete opposite ends. I mean, critics are obviously hating on this. It's a 43, 44, but general audience like a 74. So that means it's average.
Yeah.
So
okay. I'll just say this really stuck with me. The only time that I even remotely teared up in Disney Snow White is when, spoiler alert, when Dopey talks for the first time.
Yep.
There was a girl, she's behind us like 4 or 5 rows. So I'm just going to guess 8 years old. Okay. She's back over here. I can still hear her. She's over here. And all of a sudden it's so quiet. And he says, whatever he says, and you hear, she got it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it
landed.
And it hit me like, oh, like, I got.
Why the moment was important.
Yeah. Right. So it's connecting with people.
Right.
Okay. But for me, right, as somebody who's a father and going to take, it's whatever.
And that's just why I posed the question, because there's still going to be people that are going to enjoy it, and that's totally okay. What I'm saying is, it does not deserve the pre-hate.
No, it doesn't.
There's no argument here.
And there's so many people that just wanted to hate that.
No movie, by the way, deserves pre-hate.
Unless it's Morbius.
Well,
I think,
or Madam Web.
There is a culture of pre-hate. Like now, this is what I do is I pre-hate. Like not me personally, but like in general, there's a group of people that just like cannot wait to review bomb a movie, even if they haven't seen it.
Which, by the way, our little footprint here at Untitled Film Project Podcast is not going to move any needles, but Rotten Tomatoes, other places need to come up with a way to verify that you've actually seen something before you can review it. Period.
Yeah.
Because this is getting out of hand. It's actually been out of hand for a while.
A long time.
Yes.
But this is another example of something that, it's woke. No, there's not a single thing in here, in my opinion, that is anywhere close to that. So the fact that it's getting review bombed by that demographic, that's just one example, is ridiculous. Yeah. And it would be the same, by the way, on the other side, by the way, just so we're clear. If you're hate bombing Reagan because you're a Democrat, that's a problem. If you're right. It should not happen. There's got to be a way to figure this out.
Bad movie.
Right. But hate on her for that.
Right.
Don't
what I'm saying is
coming in,
because it's a bad movie.
I'm going to hate this because I'm No, watch it first.
Don't pre-hate. Let the movie earn your
hate. Yeah.
I have to tell you, I think there was 2 movies fighting it out.
Oh.
Do you remember? One of the few things that I heard a while back was that there wasn't going to be any dwarves. And all of a sudden, we have this like bizarre square peg round hole of the rebels, which I'm just going to take a wild guess that they were going to do this with the rebels instead of dwarves, and then they tested it and realized that it was terrible, and people expect dwarves, give people what they want, and I think the dwarves were created after the fact, and because there was no reason for that group of rebels other than they were originally going to be part of this movie. We're expected to know who they are, what they are, and they didn't even...
Because the first film is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the original.
Yeah.
So there's that piece, right? So that does make you have Disney's Snow White, and then you have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs kind of duking it out, because it kind of goes back to what? Wish, where you have the representation of certain characters in the film. And so with the rebels, you could probably make that out. There probably were more cuts where they had a bigger role that these rebels probably did, where they're probably representing certain characters in terms of their personality traits. That's a very curious point, Jim.
It felt like it. I mean, it was like 2 movies fighting it out, like in a cage match for part of the movie. The Seven Dwarfs, I could not get over the fact that from the very beginning, Dopey looks like he's of a different species. The rest of them look like garden gnomes, and he's got very human features, and he looks like Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine.
Oh yes.
I mean, like enough to sue. Like, I think if they didn't already have permission, I think whoever created that character could win in court. with Dopey. It was just really odd. Like, what's going on here? And those things take me out of the movie. All right, let's get scores for Disney's live action Snow White. Let's start with Jeremy K. Gober.
5.5. I think it's a very average movie, and it has its problems. But at the end of the day, people in the theater enjoyed it. So I can't be, and I didn't, it wasn't a waste of my time. And so therefore I can't give it like a 3 or anything, like I've got to go by basically my enjoyment level and the movie making process. As an audience member, I'm looking at this film, I'm watching it, and I'm like, what are the problems with it? Obviously, it's the dwarves, the fact that it didn't need to be a musical at all. There's ways to do the 2 key songs, maybe 3, without making the entire thing a musical. It's, I appreciated the fact that they actually wrote a story. We went back and watched the original after we came home because both my wife and I realized we hadn't seen it in years, right? So we watched it, and I was like, "Wow, this is it? The evil queen just leaves and goes away, and we don't find out what happened to her." And then the damsel in distress gets kissed, and then they hey, we're just gonna walk into the forest, and that's gonna be the what? These aren't even stories. And so the fact that there's actually a story, like, hey, look, Mr. and Mrs. White. Actually, at the beginning of the movie, her parents are alive, and you get to see them. That's great. You get to feel, albeit through song that wasn't necessary, the demise of her mom. And you go, oh, that must really suck. It connects you with the character. Oh, she's going through grief. That really sucks, right? Okay, and hey, look, the evil queen. How'd she get into the castle in the first place? Now we know how she got into the castle in the first place. And hey, look, we found this is how she got the village back, which what you talked about earlier. Oh, okay, great. Now we can. It was a story, and I appreciated that. So there's points there, but there's just too many distracting things in this film. The music, the dwarves, etc. 5.5.
Okay. I'm going to give this movie a 4.5, which is generous. I gave this movie a shot. I went in with a clear head, with no preconceived notions, and I was bored to death. I cannot tell you how unengaging this movie was for me. There wasn't enough. Everything just, it missed. It almost got there, but it missed. So let's say, like, if getting there is a 5 at the median, it just missed. This movie had no charisma. Besides the singing of Rachel Zegler, nothing stood out to me as something people are going to remember, except for maybe Dopey speaking. And that was like probably the only part of the movie I was truly engaged with. So yeah, that's the best I can give it.
My points are coming from Rachel Zegler, and it's because she has a powerhouse voice.
Yeah,
she carries.
She's good.
She carries, and when she is singing and performing as well too, she lights up the screen. I mean, she draws your attention for multiple reasons because she's in her element when she is singing.
Doing her thing.
She's doing her thing. And those are the kinds of roles that she's probably going to continue to get. Continue to explain with the story. They explained why her hair was the way that it was. They explained a lot of little things that people were questioning from the trailers, thankfully. But so many issues in terms of writing and cheese and things like that. The dwarves overall. Dopey's moment was fantastic. You connected with him. I like that. Overall, just like having a story and something you can at least get behind and rally behind, and some callbacks to the little girl with the crown, the flower crown, little things like that. Give it those little extra points that hopefully make more audiences connect with it that need to connect with it. And maybe there's parts in there where it can inspire some child to be brave. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for, is in these little moments you can still pull something from it, because that's what Disney is typically good at doing, is inspiring a moment, inspiring people to feel something here or there, or to do something or be brave in a tough moment. And then they do all that, and then you see Gal Gadot.
No, really, what did you think of her?
And then you forget. And here's the thing, I had a mad crush on Gal Gadot, especially Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah.
But this is just, like Jim said, horribly miscast. Horribly miscast. Like, she is not the evil queen at all. Takes you out of the movie, and Gover's turn, minus points for that.
Yep.
Major minus points for that, because they're just not believable. Just zero belief in her as that character. Whereas with Rachel Zegler, I believe she was that character because her voice, the tone of her voice, the delivery of her voice, even if she wasn't the best in just the acting parts.
She embodied it.
She embodied the role of Snow White in terms of just pure goodness. And that's what Snow White is supposed to embody. She embodies that. So all my points for Snow White, I give it a 6.0.
All right.
All right. Not too far off.
Now on the Untitled Film Project Podcast, to the point where you've been thinking about our big question while we were talking and going, wah, 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 wah. Let's do it. What's our big question for this week? Jeremy, go over.
Some of you, and those of you who skipped ahead to the big question, first of all, you picked a good one. Second of all, here we go. We've seen a bat signal popcorn bucket, a Snow White mine cart, which is how we got this question on this episode, the Barbie car, R2-D2, and of course the most famous, the sandworm from Dune 2. It looks like, well, okay. So the big question this week is, if you could go back in time and buy a popcorn bucket, what movie would it be for? And what would it look like? So we want to hear your comments either below here if you're watching on YouTube or on our social media channels. We want to hear, and you can hashtag it popcorn bucket, whatever you want to do. We don't care. Just let us know what movie you would like to go back to, whether it be a kid or last year, and so go see a movie, buy a popcorn bucket for a specific movie, and then what would it look like? Let's start with Jim.
We're just going to kind of go around for a few.
Yeah, we're going to go around.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm pitching to the marketing department. It is a regular bucket of popcorn, okay? But the salt or whatever they put on it glows, okay? Attached to the bucket are two like those things that go through a glass, containment area, and where Homer Simpson works on nuclear material, and you put your hands into those things, and then you pick the popcorn and put it in. So I'm using the Simpsons movie as my reference to.
That's a good one.
You don't get Butterfingers that way.
That's right. Yeah. People who have like texture, sticky issues, this is perfect for them.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so my first one is actually a drink holder. You know how they do drink holder sometimes?
Yes.
Okay.
It's from Happy Gilmore, Chubbs Peterson's hand.
It's a golden drink.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, mine is a popcorn bucket. I'm going to go American Beauty. And you open up the rose doors, and the popcorn is in there.
Yeah. Yep.
Shout out to Mina Savari, by the way.
Oh, no, it's like I wish I had thought of the American Pie reference for a popcorn bucket. But
I did. Oh, did you really?
Yes.
Oh, I took it. Tell us more.
It's the apple pie after Jim has had his way with it on the kitchen counter.
That's your bucket?
That's the bucket. So you have the destroyed apple pie, and you have the hole where you have to grab.
That's
the popcorn.
funny. All right.
Now back to Jim.
Oh, my. All right. I would go back to the original Ghostbusters. Let's just not, go through the whole thing of 7 different incarnations. Original Ghostbusters, you have a popcorn ghost containment device. So, like, it could also be green. And, like if the popcorn is green, there's some kind of seasoning, some kind of very unnatural green dye number 12.
What's the thing with green dye and things glowing right now?
I don't know, but I'm here for it.
I am too. I'm curious.
This next one is Tron.
Well, okay. Part of it is like you're in the dark, so you can see your popcorn if it glows.
It's got to be dim enough that you're not distracting others. That is the key.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Please turn down your popcorn at the beginning of the film.
This one is not as funny, but it's still really cool. Apollo 13. I want an astronaut helmet.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Slide open the
Yep.
thing. You just slide it back. Yeah, I'll do that one. Apollo 13.
All right. I'll go next because we got out of order.
We went back counterclockwise, I think.
Mine's gonna be from Galaxy Quest, and it is the pig lizard. After it has been beamed back to the ship. So it's just the blob.
Okay, that's awesome.
Sorry.
Do not be sorry.
I told you I had fun with this one.
Oh, just wait for my last one.
Oh, boy.
Jimothy.
All right. This one I think would just be cool. Okay. So obviously in the shape of a globe, I'm going to go with Star Wars: A New Hope, or even the second Death Star. I want, in a shape of a globe, I want it to open up and the popcorn to be inside, but on each edge of the part where it opens is going to be a laser turret, the kind that, try to take Luke out.
Green.
Yeah. No, they're not. It's not green and it doesn't glow.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
No.
But they have butter in them.
Oh!
So the turrets squirt butter down into the bucket.
Okay, now we're talking. I'm in for that.
It's in my eye.
It could be green if you want it to be.
Green butter. All right.
You do you, boo.
I'm going to go Nakatomi Plaza, Die Hard. It's really easy to make. It's just a big rectangle, but it looks like Nakatomi Plaza. You open the top and you get popcorn in it.
Wait, but if it's
There's no design creativity at all.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it says it when you open it up.
if you're sitting in front of me at the theater and it's in your lap, that's going to create a really strange silhouette.
Well, it doesn't need to be to scale now. I'm just thinking.
Might need a hospital.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Bradford.
Okay, I have two more. Okay.
Oh, crap. I need to be more selective with mine. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
I only
it's
came
all
up-
right.
we were rolling.
I know,
Okay.
yeah.
This is a Spaceballs, and I have two. So I want Eagle 5, which is the Winnebago, right? And then I want
Sponsored by Winnebago, by
yes,
the way.
and then I want the popcorn bucket to be a transforming Mega Maid,
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, that would be cool.
and then the popcorn bucket does go from suck
Suck
to
to
blow.
blow. Yes.
Yeah.
Great one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Over.
Okay, I have three more, so can I go?
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right. Pulp Fiction, I want a glowing briefcase. Sorry, I took one of your glow theme, but you open it up and it's a yellow
Stay
glow.
in your lane.
All right, Jim.
All right, I would go back to Dune and not use the horrifying popcorn bucket that they did.
The sandworm. Okay.
Yes. Instead, I would, when he's going through his training and he's got to put his hand in the box, okay?
Oh.
The popcorn is in the box, okay? But at random times, and when you never know it, maybe every 8th time you go in to get popcorn, something just gives you a little stab. Like, not actually stab you, but just like, Can you flinch?
I thought of another one, but aside from my last one.
Okay.
Should it kind of go in and go?
Sure.
For you? Okay. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
All right.
And it's going to be one of the big cans of dip, and it glows.
And it glows.
You're a pioneer here with the glowing.
All right. You guys are all going to say, I was there when Jim started
And
the trend.
Then how you scoop the popcorn out is with the little sneaker.
Oh, that's good.
I like that.
So
All right, this was going to be close to Jim's heart because it's definitely close to mine when I thought of this. Stop making sense. Okay, it's not so much a bucket. It's
Yes.
a bag. It's an oversized suit.
Oh.
You reach in through the neck hole and you have popcorn out.
Yeah. Or you could actually, this would be so unwieldy in a theater. So, I mean, none of these are realistic anyway. But,
It's a Nakatomi Plaza.
look what they did with Wolverine.
yeah, it's true.
That's true.
Also, Stop Making Sense was the tall lamp. So it goes
yes.
all the way to the floor, but instead of the lampshade, it's a popcorn bucket.
And it wobbles. It goes back like this.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's like it's like one of those birds that just dips its beak into the water.
All right, I have one more. Actually, I have two more, but one more for now.
Okay.
Inglourious Bastards. It's a Nazi scalp.
Yes.
That's what you serve potato skins as.
Oh, God.
Oh, I forgot. We're not supposed to. Nazis are good now. Sorry.
Wow.
I chose the wrong side, I guess.
Wow.
Edit that in context, Gover.
Yeah, no problem. I love Jim. I'm not going to hang him out to dry like that. Woo. What others do, however, that's not up to me. All right, does anybody have another one? Because I got one.
I do.
last one. Okay, good.
Okay. Mine's from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, good one.
Okay. It is going to be a sipper cup popcorn bucket combo.
Okay.
So you'll have the killer rabbit as the sipper. You sip out of it, and you have the holy hand grenade that opens up.
A holy hand grenade.
Antioch.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I thought you were going to go with coconuts that you'd bang together while you're...
That's a distraction to people in the theater, Gover.
Well, that's true. Of course, so sipping a soda out of a dead rabbit. But, you know, hey.
It's not dead, it's plastic.
Well, I'm just saying.
Jeez. Morbid.
Jim, you got one more?
This guy.
I would make... this would suck.
Or blow.
Way to go out.
Yeah. There's got to be some kind of Indiana Jones idol,
Oh, that's good.
you know, that you can make a popcorn bucket out of. I think that would be cool.
Or the monkey head.
Mm.
Temple of Doom. Just
Let's go step in. All right. My last one is from JFK.
Oh, my God.
Can't even get through it. It's the side of JFK's.
Release the documents.
I couldn't even get through it. Okay, it's the side of JFK's head. You open it up. There's popcorn. I'm sorry. I'm a huge JFK fan. I'm a massive JFK fan. This is on the first on my list. The first thing I thought of, because apparently I've been listening to too much Anthony Jeselnik, some dark humor. I don't know, but when I thought of this question, the first thing I thought of was, oh, you can open JFK's head.
Does it come with a Lincoln sipper?
You so bad.
Straw is the
You don't have to explain
the
it.
line of the okay.
It explains itself.
All right, Jim, get me out of here.
This has been the Untitled Film Project Podcast. I think. Where are we? Why am I here?
Not in Dallas.
From the Book Depository, we ask you to tell us about your great popcorn bucket ideas inspired by your favorite movies. Give it to us in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. Hit us up on socials if you're listening on the podcast. So we definitely want to hear your ideas. Can you top JFK's head?
Thank you for listening to the Untitled Film Project Podcast. To support the show, please rate, review, follow, and subscribe. Original music by Jeremy Schwartz. Special thanks to the Music City Film Critics Association. Editing and post-production by Jeremy K. Gover. Voiceover by Chad Bennett.